Good morning, everyone. So glad to see everyone here this morning. Oh, this is going to be fun. We're having a really good transformational day. And so that's going to be our focus today. We are transforming. We're beginning this process. We're going to start this week and we're going to end next week. Well, of course, we're always transforming, but we're going to be very intentional this week and next week. So those are going to be the focus. So today, we are going to be doing the burning bowl ceremony. And then next week, we'll be focusing on the white stone ceremony, which usually comes right after the burning bowl ceremony. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that and how that works and how that's going to be part of your transformational process. So I'm so glad to see you. My name is Lori Irwin Johnson. I use the pronouns she and her. And if you've been here before, I'm so glad that you decided to rejoin us. And if you haven't been here before and this is your first time, thank you for being here because we really enjoy having new people here and adding that energy and adding that new space. We're just so glad to have you. So thank you for being here. So, how's everybody been? It's been an interesting couple of weeks for me with the holidays and then me not being well last week. That was kind of a surprise. So I appreciate everybody hanging out and being okay. And also, too, last week I did a meditation. And so I don't know if you saw that meditation in an email, but you can also go to our YouTube account and you can see the meditation there. And that kind of helps you talk a little bit more about what I'm going to cover today in our process of being able to get ready for the burning bowl ceremony. So in the meantime, I'm going to pull up some slides. And we're going to start off with prayer for protection. So if you know the prayer for protection, please say it with me. The words will be on the screen for you momentarily. And let's say it together. Maybe if you could see the words. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is and all is well. And as we sit in this time of prayer, we just bring ourselves centered to this moment, allowing ourselves to be comfortable, to be present, to be available, to open our hearts, open our minds to exactly what we need to know, to be able to be ready to prepare ourselves for transformation. The new year always invites us to do something new, to open ourselves to possibilities. And so today we're going to explore some of those possibilities. We're going to take time to really be intentional about setting our goals. Oftentimes at the beginning of the year, we set intentions about the things that we would really like to see, but are we really intentional about that? So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'm so glad you decided to join us, those of you who are here, and those of you who decided to join us later. And so it's with gratitude. I say thank you. Thank you for taking this time to be able to better yourself. And in doing so, you're bettering the entire world and everyone around you, uplifting, supporting, and being there for each and every one of you. And so I'm so glad that you're here. And so it is. Amen. So our affirmation for today is pretty simple, but it's a little long. So I'm going to read it to you and we can read it together. And I'll put it on the screen so you can see the words. Maybe. I keep moving my buttons around. Our affirmation for today: I release all that no longer serves me and embrace the limitless possibilities before me. Let's say it again. I release all that no longer serves me and embrace the limitless possibilities before me. That's no issue. We can do that, right? Everybody knows how to do that. Do you ever get into a place where you're like, oh, I think I'm on the right track, and you start moving forward and then you look at yourself and you're like, have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea what steps to take. I have no idea where I need to be. And so I think it comes about, this whole process begins with the idea that I need to make a change. When we realize that we need to make a change, that's the first step. Oftentimes we go through life and like, what is wrong? Something is not right. But until we realize that we need to make the change, well, sometimes we look outside of ourselves for that change, for someone or something to change, or circumstances, whether it be some your partner or your friend or your children, or maybe it's your job or the people in your workplace, and you're looking for them. They need to change because they're making your life difficult. But what happens if we start to take responsibility for our own feelings and our own actions and our own responses? Because basically that is really the only control we have, is the control we have over ourselves and how it is that we respond and react in certain situations. So when we are looking at making a change and we realize that something is not right, we need to understand that it's our responsibility to look within ourselves and say, hey, I think I need to make a change. So we're going to be doing that today by doing the burning bowl. But before we do the burning bowl, I would like to go into our self-care wheel, which we did last week. And I would like to show you that. It was one we were supposed to do together. And so I wanted to go through that a little bit today. Gosh, this thing keeps popping up on my screen and it's not supposed to be there. The self-care wheel is something that if you are interested in it, please let me know and I can email it to you again. If you got the invitation for the Zoom today, it was included in that email. And it was also included in last week's email. So if you have it and you printed it out, please grab it. If you do not have it, that's absolutely fine. A piece of paper and a pen would be just fine. You're just going to need more writing. You're going to have to write some more. So with the self-care wheel, it allows us to be able to look at 6 aspects of our lives that we need to consider when we need to make a change. So we look at our physical well-being, we look at our psychological well-being, emotional, spiritual, and our personal well-being, as well as our professional well-being. We often think of self-care as just personal, just me, but we oftentimes spend so much time in our professional lives as to be able to, we forget that also needs our attention too, because some of us spend a lot of time at work. So it's part of that wheel. And and even if you're not working and it's something that you're retired or you're not doing that at this point, there is always something that is your passion. So you can change professional into passion. What is your passion? So there are lots of different ways we can do this, but this is the really simple way to do it. I got the instructions on the screen, but it's divided into categories, like I said, and you need what it does, it helps you to assess your needs. What is it within each area do you need to look at? So if you haven't got the wheel, please make little columns or put little headers there for physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, personal, professional / passion. And we're going to look at your habits and your feelings about each and every category. So first you want to, because this is really important today, first you want to look at what is it within that category that you have that you can let go of. What within your physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, personal, and professional life can you let go of? It's not something that you have to be perfect with today. I just would like you to look at that because we're going to be doing the burning bowl ceremony, and that's very intentional. So let me go into some music while you're thinking about that and while you're making your lists. Make sure that you're looking at it. You're looking at each and every aspect, and we're going to be listening to a little bit of music. Please let me know if you can't hear that.
very well at all.
Let's see what kind of video we're gonna have.
You can't hear that at all?
No.
That's weird. Zoom has been very strange lately. Let me stop share. Okay, so while you're doing this, I'm going to give you a few minutes to make out your list. Those of you that just came in, we are making a list of some of the things in our lives that we can let go of. All right, so let's bring our attention back to our lesson right now, whatever it is we're doing right now. And right now what is it that we would like to let go of? We're actually going to be doing the burning bowl ceremony today. Now, many of you know what the burning bowl ceremony is, but the burning bowl ceremony is very rich in tradition here at Unity. We've been doing burning bowl forever. And we were not the first people to come up with the burning bowl ceremony. There are many different cultures that have brought about this ceremony in several different ways. It's an ancient practice and several different spiritual traditions, and it's a powerful ritual that is usually used for release, transformation, and personal renewal. So, of course, the act of burning is really symbolic in a lot of religious traditions. It is because it's an elemental force. We see, and in nature especially, we see how it consumes, but it also not only consumes, it transforms and purifies. So it turns what is tangible what we can feel and see and touch, and into energy. It changed from what has weight into something that is weightless. And it opens up space as well. So when you are burning something, it allows that space to open up. We let it go and we release it. And across many different cultures, the power of fire has been used in rituals to clear away the past and problems with the past, or it marks some special transition and allows us to have a new beginning. So there are many indigenous cultures that have utilized fire ceremony in many different ways. For example, Native American cultures use sacred fires during rites of passage, and they use the smoke to carry prayers and troubles and experiences that they want into the heavens, and allowing them and releasing them to go to the Great Spirit. Similarly, in the Hindu culture, they have many different types of fire rituals. And one specific one is called Havan. And I would like to show you what that looks like. There is a wonderful place in India, and I think it's back here. Okay, here we go. And I would like to share this video with you so you can see what it looks like in different places and how they do the burning bowl ceremony. So can everybody see this? Okay. So there, you can see in that way, the way that they use fire is very ritualistic. And they were throwing grains into the fire. Their fire is usually something that is square. Instead of, we have a burning bowl where it's round, theirs is square with lots of flowers and lots of music and dancing. And it is really a big ritual for them. And I actually was just on New Year's, we were able to watch, my husband and I were able to watch a fire ritual from the Ananda Society. And that was really cool, where they were able to, they had the bowl and they used the rice and they were burning the rice in the bowl. And that's very symbolic. Our burning bowl at Unity, we use paper. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and how we're going to be doing that. But I just wanted you to see specifically how they did it, and how in different cultures it really is different, but also very, very profound. And you could see that they were very into that. Now, in pagan and Wiccan traditions, the fire is very central to changing, and it's also for transforming. So you can see it often in rituals that are used at the cusp of a change in seasons. So Beltane or Samhain are two different times where in spring and in the fall that you can see those rituals where there's a lot of fire. Now in Samhain, it's a time when that's where, for us here in the United States, we are looking at the ritual of Halloween, and Samhain falls in the same time period. But it's a time where there is a veil that is very thin between us and the spiritual world. And so this time, that burning of the fire at that time allows them to be able to see this as releasing old energy and bringing in the space that's available for new things to come into our lives. So it allows us to move into the next cycle. So these practices with fire, whether it be Wiccan or Native American or pagan or in Hindu, they're all the same. They are all for transformation and to be able to let go symbolically by the use of fire. Unity's been using it for years and years, as long as I've known about it. And it's especially when you do it around the new year. So that's why we are going to be doing it today. So what we do with the burning bowl is we write down what it is that no longer serves us on a piece of paper. And so I had you write down some things that you would like to get rid of or something that doesn't serve you any longer. And you can write them on pieces of paper and burn them yourself. If you are unable to do that in a safe place where there is a fireplace or a burning bowl outside, or you can also use water. And I think that many people don't realize that you can dissipate the same energy with water as well. You can also use salt, and salt is another way. So if you have your pieces of paper and you can't burn them for whatever reason, you put them in a bowl, you sprinkle them with salt, and that also dissipates that energy. So, but today we're going to do a meditation that symbolically allows us to be able to do the burning bowl, even though we're not together and present. We'll be able to do that in our meditation. So, what's interesting about the burning bowl ceremony is that it has this universal appeal. It's one of those things that we, as human beings, for as long as human beings, and we have realized and created and realized that there was fire, we have been fascinated with it. And it's become a very important part of who we are, even though most of us don't cook on fire anymore. It did change who we are as a species when we were able to start to cook and start to transform the foods that we ate and be able to make them safer and able to consume so we could live longer and perpetuate the species. So the fire has been really important to who we are as human beings. So at the heart of the burning bowl ceremony is this idea of hope, that we are using the fire to release those things that are not serving us, and then being very intentional about it. It's not something we're losing because we didn't want to lose it. It's something we're intentionally letting go. Oftentimes there are things that just don't serve us, something that doesn't work for us anymore. And when we come to terms with that and we intentionally say, thank you very much for what lessons you have taught me, good or bad, and now I intentionally let you go, let the energy go to be able to be used and recycled in a different way. So when it's a sense of connecting to that deeper sense within us of renewal. Now we can do this any time of the year. It's not something that you have to do during the changes of seasons or the change of year. You can do it all the time. In the Wiccan tradition, they use bowls on their altar to be able to set intentions in the world. So that they will write it on a piece of paper, they will put it in the bowl. Again, it sets an intention. So it is something you can do all year long. If you have a nice bowl that you can do it in, something that's safe, if you have a fireplace that works really well, you can put it in your fireplace, and you can be part of this burning bowl situation where you can let go what no longer serves any time of the year. So we're going to go into meditation at this point, and we're going to go into the burning bowl ceremony. Is everybody ready to be able to let go of what's on their list, or do they need more time? Okay. If you don't need more time, let's go through the burning bowl ceremony. Hold on one moment. Find a comfortable position, either seated or lying down, and gently close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Inhale peace and exhale any tension or worry. And allow your body and mind to settle into this moment. Allow yourself to become fully present, ready to release what no longer serves you, and invite in what your soul truly desires. Imagine yourself in a serene, sacred space, whatever that looks like for you. And in front of you is a beautiful burning bowl, radiating warmth and light. The flames invite you to release your burdens and create space for renewal. By your side is a piece of paper and a pen. Just take a moment to reflect on anything that's weighing on you. Worries, fears, regrets, or any feelings you're ready to let go of. Trust whatever arises in your heart and your mind. Now imagine yourself picking up the pen and writing down a word, phrase, or feeling that represents what you want to release. See the ink that flows onto the paper as you pour out whatever no longer serves you and your highest good. When you're ready, hold the paper in your hands, taking one last moment to acknowledge what it represents. Then gently bring it to the flame of the burning bowl. Watch it as the fire lovingly consumes the paper, transforming its energy into light and smoke. As the smoke rises, it carries away all your worries and leaving behind space within you for healing and peace. With each breath, feel yourself become lighter and freer. Take one last look at the glowing burning bowl in front of you. Its warmth and light reminds you that the power to release and renew is always within you. Carry the light of this practice with you as you move into your day, knowing you are free, renewed, and full of possibilities. As we end this meditation, take a few more deep breaths, bringing your awareness back to your body and into the room you're sitting in. Open your eyes. Feel yourself grounded, renewed, and empowered. And so it is. So through this meditation, I hope you were able to be very intentional about what it is that you would like to remove from your life. Now, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to be something that is weighing on you. It could be something as simple as, I don't want to eat chocolate anymore. I don't know why that would happen, but if that's your thing, you can make that decision. But it's an example of what, maybe somebody would decide they didn't want to do that. So it can be something as simple as that, or it can be something as huge as I need to make a change in my personal responses to things, my how am I responding to certain situations, or is it time for me to forgive? All of these things are something that you could do and be represented within the burning bowl. It doesn't have to be big, but it can be. And so I just want you to take a moment, really, over the next couple of days. You can do this multiple times. It is not something that you have to do once and then it's done for the entire year. You can do it and be available to that. Now, I know that Unity is going to be having a Unity, worldwide is having a burning bowl ceremony, and unfortunately, I do not have the date for that. So I couldn't find it yesterday. So I'm sure that I will get it to you and I will email it to you. And then they will have a ceremony that you can watch and attend online, where you can see how they do it at the village. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with the village, that is in Lee's Summit in Missouri. So that is where I work, even though I don't live in Missouri. It's who I work for. And so it is a beautiful place. And so if you ever get an opportunity to want to learn more about that, we're going to have a new member class. So if you're interested in that, learning more about Unity and where Unity came from and a little bit about Unity history, that is going to be a great class. And you do not have to want to be a member at all to be able to come to this class, or you can already be a member and just want a refresher, because there's always something new to learn about what's going on at Unity and how Unity is showing up in the world. So there's my little plug. I want to stop this portion of the service and be able to give you a benediction. And so it's a time of centering again, time for us to say a little prayer. So if you could get into a space of prayer again. And as we close this time together, and allow that flame of renewal to continue burning within you and within your heart. May all that we have released today rise with the smoke and leave us lighter, freer, and more open to new possibilities. We give thanks for this transformative power of spirit, which helps us to release the past, to embrace the present, and to welcome the future with courage and grace. May we carry forward the lessons of this ceremony, knowing that we are always held in the light of love, healing, and infinite potential. And so with hearts renewed and our spirits lifted, we go forward in peace, grounded in the promise of a new beginning. Amen. I want to take this time for anyone that's interested in sharing